All right, welcome back. It's a brand new episode. It's the Made South Podcast.
The Made South Podcast.
Starring Kimberly and Chris.
Yes, starring Kimberly, right? Am I a star? Am I a star?
Yeah, I think you're the star.
host?
Yeah, no, I think you're the star.
Or am I a guest appearance?
I don't think either one of us are stars.
Right.
You know?
Okay.
I think we're
that's
just
very true.
We're just a married couple.
Yeah.
We love each other.
And we like to talk.
We like to talk.
Yeah.
We are raising 4 children.
Nobody.
Oh, man, wow.
I mean, people did say that it was hard.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
They did.
Yep.
But man, you can't know it's so hard.
It's real
until
hard.
You're in it.
It's real hard, y'all.
Yeah. Yeah. I get real annoyed these days because I just get overwhelmed with the energy.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And
it's a lot.
I will tell you, during tonight's high-low session,
Mm-hmm.
it really hurt my feelings that the kids said that I'm the biggest interrupter. I don't think that that's true.
I don't think it's true
Or
either.
when I hear something crazy
Right.
and Mama Bear needs to go, what?
Yeah.
Like, that doesn't count as an interrupter.
Right.
But that really kind of,
Yeah, I could tell.
it hurt my feelings.
I mean, the thing is, like, we have to be ducks.
We have to be
A
ducks.
wise woman has been telling me
Yeah.
we have to be ducks. And also, we can't take it too seriously.
I know.
We can't be offended
I know.
by the dumb things our kids say.
I know.
Because they're kids.
Right.
We're trying to raise adults, future adults,
Right.
you know.
Yeah.
But they're still kids.
Yeah.
And they don't. I mean, listen. We could. There
For another show.
There are a million other examples of like.
Yeah.
You know, oh, that was 3 months ago. Well, no, it wasn't. It was 3 years ago. Like, that's reality, but they think it's 3 months. Or they'll say, well, that was 6 years ago.
Oh,
well,
yeah.
no, it wasn't. It
I
was
know.
2 months ago.
I know.
They don't have a firm grasp on reality. They're children, you know, and so they do say things that I don't think they're intending. They weren't being
It wasn't
mean,
malicious.
right?
Yeah.
But
it was like, really? That's your truth?
Yeah, and
You think that's the truth?
and it's not.
You know?
It's totally not the truth.
Yeah.
You're the one protecting everyone's time to talk. High-low, by the way, is like something that we'll do if we're sitting around the dinner table together, all 6 of us.
Yeah.
Hey, what's your high-low for the week, or what's your high-low for today, or, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
And so we go around. We always kind of pick a different order. Tonight it was oldest to youngest. Sometimes it's shortest to tallest. Sometimes it's we just go different orders. And a lot of times whenever someone is sharing their high or low, usually a younger
One
son
particular person
one will butt
Just
in and like he
goes down a rabbit
right,
trail.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I heard about this one time that you know
Yeah.
it's like, oh, you're taking it over.
Yeah.
And he's not aware of it. You know, he's a teenager.
Yeah.
But tonight for him to say, you do that the most, Mom.
Right.
I'm like,
Well, our daughter
what?
said it actually.
Yeah.
And she
Yeah.
does. She has some good
Yeah.
logic.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
then I just was thinking,
Were
oh
you-
my
did it-
goodness, really?
Did it cause you to question it all? Like, well, do I do that?
No, I didn't. But it did cause me to sit there and go, well, don't say anything. Don't say anything. Because they're going to see
Yeah.
that as interrupting,
Yeah.
you know? So it was one of those
Yeah.
moments.
I know.
You know?
And you just gotta be a duck in
Yeah.
that moment.
Yeah.
You know.
But also, I told you recently, maybe even yesterday, because you had to vent to me.
I did.
And
I
I'm
think I
getting better
probably-
at not being offended for the person that you're venting about because I'm
You
their
just
parent.
laughed. You laughed a lot.
But I just said we got to laugh off the intensity. You
I
know,
know,
that's what
I
the
know.
what's his name? The
David.
the book.
David Thomas.
Man, the
Wild-
book that it's
Wild
like
Things.
the Bible to raising boys for us right now.
Right.
But just laughing off the intensity.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
we just can't
Yeah.
take
and-
it personally. We can't get so close that we get so emotionally
Yeah.
charged by it. But
And that's
it's
what
hard.
that's what I struggle. I think the most with is like just. I
To
get so
get
worked
emotionally
up.
attached
I do.
to
I get
it.
so
Yeah.
worked up, and I get offended.
Yes.
And you know, those are 2 of our boys yesterday were painting a fence, and like, just had sour attitudes, and they were just, I don't know. They just.
You can only take so much complaining, and you get filled up.
But still,
and,
I just started barking at them, and then I just had a little come apart on the dirt bike. Like I just went riding, up the hill and down, and just like. And did you hear me kind of revving it?
I think I did look out and wonder, is he riding aggressively?
Yeah,
I could tell you were angry.
Yeah, I just got worked up at him, and man. And then, I cooled down. I came and vented to you.
Yeah.
And then I had to go back and go, hey, guys, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I messed that up, And a separate issue is you guys really have poor attitudes about paying this fence.
Right. And we needed to deal with that.
Right.
But we don't always deal with it in the right way.
It's not an excuse for the way I reacted to you.
Yeah.
So I'm responsible for my own actions.
Mm-hmm.
Separate issue. I don't want to use the word "but" there and connect them.
Right.
Separate issue.
Right.
You guys have really poor attitudes about this.
Right.
And that's not fair to us,
Yeah.
So that was I don't know how we got started on that. How do we get started?
I don't know. I was thinking that you kind of liked therapy session Sunday last week.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We just kind of jumped in talking about.
This will come out on Monday, though, technically. So.
Oh well.
I mean, but hey.
I think I just kind of vented for a second about my feelings got hurt.
Oh yeah, that's right.
You're feeling today.
Yep, that's right, and that's okay.
But so while the boys were painting the fence, we tried to tackle the garage that seems to be the room in the house.
Oh my goodness!
That just continues. It gets tidied up, and it just has a come apart, and tidied up, and has a come apart, and we've done some major tidying with it, but we have a lot of people in the house that don't put things away.
Are you looking at me?
I mean, I am looking at you.
Why are you looking at me?
Here, but I think you modeled this somewhat for our boys.
How? Walk me through how.
I put a lot of your stuff up. You know?
Walk me through a few of those examples.
Like your dinner plate tonight.
That's not true. Oh, I'm sorry, but that was. Oh, I'm thinking about lunch. I cleaned up the lunch plates.
I did something else. No, a lot of times I see where you've had your snack and, you kind of got up, moved on to something else. And,
I don't know that this is accurate. I would love for you to say that you got done with your snack and you went, when? Am I leaving plates in the living room? Like, where am I leaving these snack plates?
Yeah, sometimes.
And they're mine because
I remember seeing you sit there and eat them. I mean, I could start pointing them out to you.
I would love that. That would be.
I'm not sure how wise that is.
That would be helpful for me.
Okay.
Because I don't make plates of snacks and go sit in the living room. That's not me.
Okay.
I don't do that.
Okay.
I might grab a can of peanuts.
Mm-hmm.
I might grab
leave the can of peanuts or the 2 bags of those little cheese thingies.
2 bags? I don't even know what you're talking about.
The moon cheese.
Oh, I cleaned those up yesterday.
You may have. I don't recall cleaning those
I cleaned them up.
Yeah. I'm just to your point of snacking in the living room.
Well, golf was on.
Anywho,
you got to snack
when
golf is on.
I get it. So anyway, we tried to put some walkways back into the garage.
The garage is out of control.
It is out of control.
We have lost control of that garage probably 2 years ago. I don't know that we've had a car in it in the last 2 years.
It's not been quite that long, but I will say with a house, we kind of touched every room in the house this past fall. It was a hard season.
Yes.
And that was one thing that made it really difficult was every room was kind of in, piles, and we had to clear out some spaces in the house.
Right.
And it goes to the garage. It's out of sight, out of mind. So anyway, so we were trying to tackle some of that. So I really appreciated that you sat down with me and we went through house files. And boy, did we get a lot of stuff thrown away.
We found our year 2000 taxes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, my tax, because we weren't married yet.
Oh, right. That's right. Yeah.
But then we did find our 2001 taxes.
because I like to print things and keep things, and
so
I just keep
I would delete
packing
print
that.
things, and I would just say keep things. You
I
like
like
to keep
to, I
things.
do like to keep things.
I mean, we had a receipt from mattresses we bought in 2002.
Yes, the mattress that we've since
21
replaced,
years ago.
and samples for blinds that we didn't buy, and windows that I had somebody come.
Tent samples on windows
Right.
that we never bought.
I get it, but they were at least in folders labeled.
Oh, yeah.
So if I ever needed to visit that,
Yeah.
I knew where to go.
Yes.
But anyways, I did appreciate you sitting there.
Yes, we did. We sat down and
And-
flipped through a lot of paperwork.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that was kind of fun to reminisce about some things.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then so you kind of I found sort of some random things
Yeah.
in like my Chris folder, because I have
Okay.
a folder for every.
There is a Chris folder?
Yeah, see right there it says Chris.
See, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, so it's things like copies of things that I don't necessarily want that I just need easy access to.
Right,
So I've
right.
got like the birth certificates and hunting licenses, and I've got stuff like that, titles in the documents notebook in the gun
Right,
safe.
right.
But I have like Xerox copies of things that I've had to grab over the years. And
Okay.
with school, and I got to show something, turn it in.
Yeah.
Or like, some kind of a doctor report that comes home in a hard copy.
Sure.
Like we did a gene test for Will
Yeah.
a couple of years
Yeah,
ago.
that's
And
right.
like, well, it's going to go in a little Will folder, So anyway, so I've got, immunization things, stuff that I just need to grab quickly. But
Right.
there was kind of some random stuff in yours that you
Okay.
thought was kind of fun. So do you want to talk about this Yankees patch?
Yeah, I mean, I
Yeah,
think I'm just
pass.
gonna. I want to see if I can sell that on eBay.
Okay.
I think I bought that. What's the final year on that? 2008. So 08 may have been. I'm probably not gonna get it right, but I think maybe this was the last year for the old Yankee Stadium.
And that's where did you go?
Yeah.
So you bought that?
And so I went to a Yankees Red Sox game with Mike Hardwick and Matt Clark
Okay.
and bought that patch.
Okay.
Or you know what? It may have been because you and I went
Yeah, we've been.
with Matt and his wife at the time and Mike and his wife at the time. Mm-hmm. Remember the 6 of us went one time.
Golly.
Do you remember that?
No, I don't.
Yeah, we went to a Yankees Red Sox game,
Okay.
and then we had dinner at Bobo.
Okay. With people?
Upstairs. Yeah,
I don't
the 6 of
remember.
us ate dinner.
Okay. I
That
guess
night.
I just don't remember that
Yeah.
so much. It's a long
It was
time
one
ago.
of those trips, whatever it was. So obviously in 2008, which that
Well,
what is
goodness,
it?
we only had like Baby Jack and McKinley.
Yeah,
Should have been 3.
So flip
yeah.
that over. What's the first year on it? It says
23.
yeah. So
that stadium
I
was built.
think that is the patch that commemorates the final year at Yankee Stadium.
Yeah.
And so I don't know.
That seems
I didn't even know we still had that.
Yeah. Hey, that'll be fun for the
Yeah.
kids to find one
Yeah.
day.
Or I'm gonna put it on eBay and sell it because we don't care about the Yankees anymore.
Okay.
You know.
I mean, but there's some kind of things from your childhood that.
Yeah, but that's not from my childhood.
No, but I'm just saying that are Yankees related.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
you
yeah.
know,
Okay,
so.
I get it.
This is a certificate of authenticity.
Yeah, that was for a golf thing.
Is this the stamp
the autograph
thing you were trying to
Yeah,
find?
yeah. That's
Oh,
why I
the-
wanted to keep it because I thought if I could figure out who we gave that to or sold it to,
Then this should have gone with it.
because I didn't know we had it.
Interesting.
Yeah, but there was a period of time there where I was not into golf, and then but I had this piece of memorabilia. We got it when we lived in Hendersonville.
Oh. And it had their signatures on it?
Yes, you actually
Autographs?
gave it to me on our first anniversary.
I gave you this thing?
Yes.
Interesting.
Yep.
Okay.
And we framed it. Don't you remember? And I hand wrote the note about what the stamp meant. It was autographed by many PGA players.
Maybe.
And
I remember some random.
yeah, and we wrote that, and you
things.
gave it to me on our first anniversary. Like I hand wrote this
Yeah.
thing, and we framed it together.
Yeah, back when you had a little room that
Yeah,
you could hang
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah. So here's a random thing that would
Uh-huh.
have gone in Chris folder. This is your Private Protective Services Armed Security Guard. Is this a license?
What?
Certificate?
Let me see
when
this.
you took that class?
Is this dated?
Well, I don't know. Oh, I do have
Private
classes.
Protective. You know what? Yeah. This is kind of ringing a bell. Yeah. So, because our current address is on here. But this was, so it is. It's June 30th, 2018. Yes, I remember this. So I had to go through some gun training when I was part of the security team at church.
Right.
And so because, I don't know, I may be saying this incorrectly, but the way I remember it, in order to, at the time, in order to carry on the grounds, I don't remember, but apparently I had to pass like an armed security something.
Yeah, I recall that.
I don't know what that is. That's wild.
Yeah. I was proud of you for doing that. That was really interesting.
Yeah.
You know, to be a part of.
I think about going back to do that.
Do you?
Yeah, rather than
serving in the learning center?
Yep. I think about going back and doing the security team.
Do you?
Yeah.
Well, I like serving with you.
I understand.
You know, I like coloring with you.
I know.
You know, but I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
Just seems more my speed.
Yeah. Here is your resignation letter. When
from Dave's.
Yeah.
Can I see that?
March 1, 2014. You were letting them know the terms of which you would be.
The terms.
Isn't that how it's worded?
To formally acknowledge the terms.
I think it was more payment,
yeah.
like what checks were still, coming.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, it was just like, oh man, that's fascinating.
Yeah. See the little things, the little remnants of that it's kind of good to keep things. All right. Now, oh dear, what is this?
Here you go. But should we keep this? What do we need this for?
You're right. I know. I don't know. It just, at the time I kept it.
Yeah.
We just kind of had a lot of stuff going on.
Right.
Right. A lot of feelings about leaving. And,
I get it.
It's like, I'll just stick it in a folder and deal with it another day.
I get it.
So this was your separation notice.
From Lampo?
Yeah. So you were...
Lampo is what...
Is what it was before. It was
and it may still be technically
Ramsey
called
Solutions.
that. Yeah, but I don't know.
So you were employed there from December 10th of 2001.
Yep.
That's the year we got married.
That sounds right. Mm-hmm.
To 2/21/14.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. Do you want to talk about this or do you want to skip this? Well, we could go into these. You want to go into the little awards?
I'll skip that. I might save that for a different time. I don't think these are awards. These are just
so here's your here's characteristics.
Yeah, so this was called
No, there were some awards in here. I'll find those.
Okay. Well, this is called a disc profile. See over here? Look. DISC.
Okay, right.
And so everyone in the company at the time had this outside their office area. Mm-hmm. And so you could see, like it says, it tells, my chart is kind of pegged on the D and the I, and then I'm probably a 75, maybe an 80 on the S. I'm a very low C. Mm-hmm. And man, it's been a long time since I've done that. So
to remember what
I just remember like D is kind of very driven. I is like influencer. C was like, I think the very detail oriented. That's not who I am.
No.
So I'm very low on that part. Uh-huh. So, and then they would give you characteristics. So what does it say down there on the bottom left?
Loves a good challenge.
Yeah,
that's
I do.
true.
Yeah, that's fair.
Strong competitor and self-starter.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tends to be forceful and direct in approach.
That's fair.
Okay. Likes meeting new people and interacting.
That is very true of me.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's good. Look at that. There's just a picture of me and baby McKinley on your desk.
Yeah, I know.
Wow.
Well, I don't know when that
would
would have been taken, but
yeah. All right. So then we've got some little awards. You were given the Outstanding Performance Awards.
Well,
by earning the Outstanding Performance Award in the Dale Carnegie course in which you were participating. As a result of determination and a strong desire for self-improvement, the award was made on the basis of outstanding performance as determined by vote of Chris's fellow participants and the instructional team.
Okay. Well, what's the date on that?
It's not dated.
Well, okay, can I take a look at it?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
I mean, I do know that Dale Carnegie.
Oh, wait, we just threw away your little certificate yesterday.
Oh, yeah, we did,
Remember
didn't we?
of, like, you completed the Dale Carnegie
so Dale Carnegie,
course?
Have you ever heard of Dale Carnegie?
Yeah, I remember that
It was like, he
It
wrote
was
a book called How to Win Friends and Influence People.
Okay.
And so, I can't remember if everybody had to, I don't remember if the whole company sent everybody through, if they sent just certain people. I don't recall, but I do remember going through that, and it just kind of gets you more comfortable with like meeting people and introducing yourself and being personable and how to win friends and influence people, being likable and being influencing people and stuff like that, persuasive. So, but that was so long ago. Yeah. I would say that was, golly, I don't know, the first few years I was there.
For
it could have been 03, 04.
And so printed on what looks like the exact same paper with the same signature of this lady, you also won the Crashing Through Award.
Oh, yeah. I think that was like each class that we met.
Oh, it was from the Dale Carnegie course also.
Yeah. I think each class that we went to, you all came with an assignment to do. You all did it because there was a lot of public speaking. You're doing these things and saying these things and speaking in front of your class. And then each session was like, hey, we'll award a Crashing Through Award. Like, this is the person who kind of did the best for tonight. And I think it's almost like a game ball. I think. Where it was like, at the end of the course, I think everybody gets a Crashing Through Award.
Right.
Something like that.
Okay. All right, so the last thing of interest in the Chris folder is the Witch
yes.
signs that were, I think maybe these, I don't know, maybe they were put on the door that morning, but it was today's Chris count.
Right. Yeah.
So it looks like they were keeping up with a blank of 51.
Yep.
And so this is the one that says 51 of 51. And maybe the owner wrote,
funny.
Congratulations, Chris. So you kind of brought some just fun little local.
Yeah. So silly. So this was, man, I wish I remember what
I think
year
we only
this
had
was.
Baby McKinley.
Maybe.
Yeah.
It was early on. So maybe like 05, 06, 07, somewhere around there. 15 years ago, 16 years ago. But I had a blog. And here's the WordPress blog. Pourout.wordpress.com. I guarantee it's not there anymore.
Probably not.
But one of the things I would do, this sandwich shop opened down the road from our office.
Right.
And they had, their whole thing was like, they had 51 different styles of sandwiches. And so early on, me, Joe, like a couple of other people, we'd go a lot. And I was like, really quickly I said, I'm going to eat all 51 sandwiches. Regardless of if they sound appealing, whatever. I'm going to eat all 51.
This is the competitive side out of you. Like, I'm going to do 100 days of podcasting.
But there's no competition. Who am I competing against?
Kind of to yourself. Like,
but
it's that goal thing that you like having.
And I was like, I'm going to write about them on my blog, and I'll take a picture. I had a little digital camera. I would take a picture of them and put it on there, and I would review them.
Oh, boy. Wow.
And one day, the owner of Witch, his name is...
Is it Colt?
Nope. No. Colt was the general manager of this location.
Okay.
His name is Jeff Sinelli.
Okay.
Jeff Sinelli still I think does live in Texas.
Okay. Last you heard.
And he emailed me.
Okay.
And said, hey, I found your blog. I love it. Keep it up. And it was the guy who started Witch.
So it's a chain.
I think it's a chain. I think it's a franchise or a chain. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if they own them all. I don't know if they're franchises.
Okay.
And I was like, well, that's kind of cool. And so then we stayed in touch. And as I got closer, he said, what if on your last one, on 51, what if we close the store and you, Chris, you invite 50 friends, so me plus 50. And he said, and we'll feed everybody lunch. And he was like, I'll come into town for it. And so he did.
Yeah. I remember that was fun.
Yeah, it was kind of fun. So I invited a bunch of friends, and we showed up, and we ate. I had the 51st sandwich. And I think he and I are still Facebook friends.
Oh, yeah?
Although I'm not on Facebook a lot.
Right.
But I feel like I've seen him in the last few months somehow.
Right.
Doing other things now.
Interesting.
Like I think he still does it, but he's started other companies.
Sure, yeah.
That was the last one?
That was the last thing of interest. Everything else was kind of just a copy of, immunizations and what's the travel document, the thing that's outdated for both of us.
Is that rain we're hearing?
I don't think so. Is it rain? It is rain.
I was sitting here going like, I feel like the background noise has picked up like,
yeah.
I was like, where's that coming from? I'm looking at our volumes like nothing has changed.
Yeah.
But it's the rain.
Yeah, so it's a rainy Sunday evening.
And Bear's just laying out there in the rain.
Yeah.
Why?
It's just a small little rain right now.
Bear, come on.
We do love when it rains because his long-haired coat gets kind of frizzy.
Yeah.
And so everybody in the family does.
They love it. He gets extra fluffy.
Gets fluffy and a little bit rain frizz.
Yeah, so. Rain frizz.
So the other thing I was going to ask you about is we kind of we made a big mess, but we cleared out a lot.
Yeah.
In the garage yesterday, and I got to revisit that tomorrow. But we also dove into. I kind of thought maybe this is the appropriate time. We still had a little file box of all of your mom's files.
Yeah.
And so it was because you were executor. Is that right? What was that called?
Yes, executor.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that was a lot to weed through because we were 34 when she passed?
2011. Yeah, 12 years. Yeah.
Something
I was,
like that.
oh, man.
I think that's about right.
I was 33. Yeah.
Anyway, so I started pulling those out going, hey, we can get rid of a lot of this stuff.
Right.
I don't think probably any of it we need anymore. And you kind of were like, no, I'm done with this. I think I'm done with this.
Yeah.
So I was curious if that was, yesterday was her birthday.
Right.
And so sometimes I wonder, what's that like? Like you remembered. Because sometimes
I did
things
remember.
like that go over your head.
Yeah, they do. It's interesting. I had remembered because, funny enough, it's sort of tied to Sean Dietrich.
Okay.
Because he, golly, I don't know that I'm going to say this correctly. I think the first time he played the Opry, it would have been his dad's fill-in-the-blank birthday. I don't remember.
Oh, okay.
I'm not 100% sure. What I am sure of is that when I emailed him and his wife Jamie the second time saying, hey, I just picked up Opry tickets. Are y'all doing anything afterwards again? And I said, by the way, it would have been June 10th will have been my mom's, and I can't remember what 70. Do you remember how old she would have been? 77, 78?
Would she have been 75 or 74? I think it was 10 birthdays.
I'm always bad about this.
Yeah.
Was she 63 when she passed?
64.
64.
In 2011.
Okay. So 12 would have been 65. 22 would have been 75. She would have been 76. 76.
Okay.
So I said, hey, oddly enough, my mom would have been 76 on June 10th, which was the day that...
The second time he got to play the Opry.
Played the Opry.
Yeah.
And she responded and said, that's so interesting. I know she said, my dad would have been, I think I got it wrong about Sean's dad the first time. I think she said, That's funny. My dad would have been, his 75th birthday would have been the first time Sean played the Opry. So there was just, it was like, oh, I kind of marked in my mind like, oh, the second time is going to be that's Mom's birthday. That's Mom's birthday.
Because we had tickets and we had intended to go last night.
Right. And then we had to bail because our daughter was getting home and we wanted to be there for her to be home too.
She got home from her first mission trip and kind of had a...
Yeah. And, but yeah, it was weird. So I remembered it. And then I think maybe you brought up like, hey, there's kind of this box of things here to go through that are still your mom's. And then that triggered like, oh yeah, today's her birthday. Because I was remembering, the second time he plays Opry, that's Mom's birthday. And then, I don't know, you mentioned death certificate.
Yeah.
And it was like, I was frazzled from the boys.
Yeah.
I'd lost it. I had to go apologize.
Yeah.
I didn't feel good about that.
Yeah.
It was just kind of a lot that I didn't want to dig into. It felt like a whole different layer just to let's go into that. I think another thing was that you mentioned the divorce papers, right? They were kind of close to the top.
Yeah.
And it was just, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, this feels really...
Yeah.
Really heavy,
Yeah.
Like some handwritten note from Mom asking...
To her attorney.
Yeah, was it her attorney, I guess?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like mentioning a restraining order against my dad. And I was just going, oh, man. I don't know. It just felt like a lot in that moment. I'd hit my wall.
Yeah.
And I think I'd even said before on the garage, like, hey, I think I'm ready to kind of like put a pin in the rest of this garage stuff for the day.
Yeah.
I'm hitting my wall.
Yeah.
And then that came out. I was like, oh, I'm really hitting my wall now.
Sure.
So,
that's understandable.
Yeah.
I get it. Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. There you go.
Well, thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Well, I appreciate you being understanding.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Well, there you go. So has it been a little cathartic being out here? I mean, the rain.
I mean,
we love the rain on the porch.
I mean, I can't.
But we've talked about some hard stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't think of. There aren't many things I love more than rain on this front porch with you.
That's sweet.
Really.
Yeah.
It's like we had to go put on sweatshirts.
Yeah, we did.
Because it's a little cool now. Yeah. The rain came in and kind of cooled everything off, and it's been warm for a few days, and now like this, I've just felt this breeze blow by just now, and like this rain, these two dogs sitting here. I'm sitting here with you, and like
glass of wine would
go
really well with this.
Are you kidding me?
But
I really want. Here's what I would say: Eli Mason is coming out with a new mixer this week.
Yes. Oh, is it launching this week?
Yes.
Okay.
On Wednesday.
Oh. Okay.
So when people hear this, that's 2 days from now.
Okay.
It comes out on Wednesday, the 14th.
Okay.
Is that right? Am I doing the math right? Today's the 11th. When
12,
people
13,
hear
14.
it, it'll be the 12th.
Mm-hmm.
Wednesday, the 14th, which is National Old Fashioned Day.
Get out.
You see what I did there?
I do see what you did there. You planned that,
We started planning months ago to release it on National Old Fashioned Day. It's bottled up. It's in the warehouse. It's ready to go. I've tried it. It's delicious. And I can't wait for other people to try it. But it's a barrel-aged Old Fashioned. Do you understand what this is?
So let me take a stab at it.
Okay.
So we
haven't really talked about this.
No, but maybe I asked you, or maybe I just know.
Okay, all right.
So we took our Eli Old Mason mixer.
Eli Mason
Old Fashioned mixer.
Do you know the name of the business?
I do. We took that and we, instead of just bottling it up after we made it, we didn't make it. But
well,
I'm saying like you and I, we don't.
No, you and I don't make it
but
in
after,
our kitchen,
so
no.
Instead of it going straight to bottles,
right.
It got poured into whiskey barrels.
That is correct.
Did it stay at the co-packer?
Yes.
So we bought whiskey barrels and sent them to the co-packer?
Nope, we didn't buy whiskey barrels.
Okay.
So, Leaper's Fork Distillery.
Okay.
Where we had the dinner with Philip and his company.
I'm familiar.
You've been out there.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful place.
Yep. So Lee Kennedy is the owner there. He's a friend of mine, and I reached out to him and I said, "Hey, we want to do a barrel-aged old-fashioned mixer. Mm-hmm. Would you loan us a couple of your barrels?" And he was like, "Absolutely." Mm-hmm. So they have what's called dump days. Days that, okay, these barrels are ready to be dumped and bottled up.
Okay.
And so he put me with kind of their production manager and, said, "Hey, the next dump day that we have, let Chris know."
What an interesting name.
Well, I mean,
dump day.
But I get it. It's the day you're going to dump barrels.
Okay. All right.
And so on a day a couple months ago that they dumped barrels, they said, "Hey, we got 2 fresh ones for you. You let us know." They delivered them to our co-packer in Dixon for us because one of their team members lives in Dixon. Oh. So they just loaded them up, said, awesome. "Hey." They delivered them to our co-packer. We took our best-selling old-fashioned mixer, filled these barrels up. Mm-hmm. We let them rest for a period,
couple weeks, 2-3 weeks.
No, more than that. No, more than a month.
Okay.
I'll say more than a month.
Okay.
And we would agitate them every few days. That's important.
Like just roll
them
around.
Roll them around, agitate them. Yep.
Okay, interesting.
Because you want it to you don't want it to just sit stagnant. You want it to kind of mix,
Right.
And then it's a process because then when you're ready, when you go, okay, this tastes good, we're ready. You have to dump those barrels and you have to recook it. Because any bacteria or anything that would form in that, you're like, nope, we got to get rid of that. So you got to boil that up again, recook it.
Okay.
And then bottle it up. And so it's kind of a process. It's more expensive to produce.
Sure.
But it does taste different. It tastes different. I tried them
side
by side, just the syrups. I could totally make you one.
So I'm curious, is it thicker since it's been cooked a second time?
No. It's not
it's kind of got the same consistency?
Nope. It does have a slightly different color. So bottle to bottle, brown. It's a little more brown.
Okay.
The other one's a little redder. This one's a little browner. Mm-hmm. It's got a little bit of char that has settled. Like we screen it whenever you dump them out. We screen them.
If you got little,
but there's always just little bitty bits, that are going to come through there.
But
it doesn't hurt you at all.
They've gone through a screen.
Yes.
Yeah.
Doesn't hurt you at all, but there may be a little bit of settling, in there. But it's sat in those oak barrels, for 30 days, 45 days. And so it's soaking up oak. It's and you get just like more caramel notes, more vanilla notes. Honestly, it tastes a little softer to me.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I really like it.
Well, now I'm sad that I told you no thank you.
I know. I offered to make you one. But you said no.
Well, maybe.
But on Wednesday this week, we're going to be launching that for National Old Fashioned Day.
So when you say launching, does that mean that is the first ship out of the...
Yes, that'll be the first date that people can purchase it.
So that stores can purchase it?
I don't think stores...
Will it be in stores on Wednesday?
I don't think by then. I mean...
So National Old Fashioned Day, it won't be in stores for people... It will be, it's the first day that it's available for the distributor to ship.
So, I mean, here's what I would say. We have shipped cases of it to our distributor in Nashville.
Right.
They service
all
many bottle
shops
shops in Middle Tennessee.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
We've shipped it. I don't know that they're going to have time to get it out by then. Okay. Then we have shipped some to Party City in Kentucky. They're a good retailer of ours.
Party City? Different Party
I'm
City.
sorry, Party Source.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Party Source. I'm so sorry. It's not a party. Party Source is like a really great bottle shop.
Okay.
A liquor store.
Okay.
Wine and whiskey and stuff like that. So Party Source. I think they're in Newport, Kentucky, and they're huge. It's kind of like
that store you sent me to.
It's kind of like that store I sent you to the other day. I won't mention them, but they're only in Kentucky. Party Source is only in Kentucky.
Okay.
So we've shipped some to them. I don't know if they're going to have it on the shelf by then.
Right.
And then
so you're kind of introducing it to the world.
Yes. On Wednesday.
On Wednesday.
Correct. It'll be the first time
people
will
be seeing it in probably some ad campaigns happening online?
Yeah, and we'll send an email because here's the thing.
Yeah.
The first 48 hours, only our email subscribers are going to be able to purchase it. We didn't make a whole lot of it.
Right, because we're going to kind of see what it does.
Yeah, we didn't make a ton of it. We wanted to make sure it's good.
We'll sell it on our website.
Correct.
Okay, I see.
Yeah, and a good chunk of what we made went to Empire, Party Source.
I see.
Our Amazon distributor.
Okay.
And then also the fourth one, the distillery, Leapers Fork Distillery, is going to carry it in their shop. Yeah. So they've got a few cases that, should be there tomorrow. But
right.
I just don't know if they'll have it out yet.
Right.
Okay. So that leaves us with a decent amount, but it's not a huge amount.
Right.
Because we're small. We can't afford to make
How many bottles? Do you know how many bottles came out of the two barrels?
A grand total of just a little more than 1,000 bottles.
Oh, okay.
Yep. And I would say probably 400 of those went to those 4 wholesale accounts. Right.
And we're sitting on about 600 to ship out.
Right.
Okay.
So not a lot.
Okay.
And so we're giving our email subscribers first crack at that for 48 hours. So they'll get an email
on Wednesday.
Right. We're not going to run ads to the public. We're not going to tweet about it.
Okay.
We're not going to do that.
Okay.
It'll go to our email subscribers. And they will have first dibs for the first 48 hours. They'll have a 48-hour head start. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so I'll be one of the first people to try it if I let you make me one.
Yeah.
Tonight, right?
I could push pause right now and go make you one. And come back.
Okay, deal.
You want me to do that?
Yeah.
Okay,
deal.
hold on.
Okay.
All right,
okay,
and we're
that was
back.
Quick.
Yeah.
Yeah. I turned around and I just watched you.
You did?
Yeah.
Great. I didn't pick my nose or anything, did I?
I didn't see that.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm glad.
So, I noticed that you did the extra. You mixed it all over the ice in the fancy little pouring glass thing.
The only reason,
called?
It's a mixing glass. The only normally I wouldn't do that.
Oh, okay.
Normally I would mix it straight in the glass.
Right.
But I knew that I had this ice cube in our freezer here, not in the garage freezer. I didn't want to go out there.
Okay.
But I knew it was kind of small. And so I wanted to get it nice and cold, so I took scoops out of the ice maker to make sure it was nice and cold before I poured it over that fresh cube.
Okay. I see. Yeah. I do appreciate that work.
Normally I wouldn't do that.
Smells delicious.
Yeah.
Looks very pretty.
Yeah.
Okay. That's good.
Is it pretty good?
That's good.
Yeah, I'm curious
so
with that.
After I've gotten it down, there's a lot of sweetness. What do you call this? The after?
Aftertaste?
Like this is delicious. After I've swallowed it.
Yeah.
You said maybe vanilla?
Yeah, what I pick up on it when I sample the two mixers, because I'm not drinking right now, so I sampled the two mixers side by side in like little tablespoon cups, sipping out of them. Our original has more. The word I would use to describe it is like brightness. There's a little more tartness. There's a little more cherry and orange citrus.
Okay.
This one is softer, and I get more vanilla, more caramel.
This is delicious.
Yeah.
After I've already swallowed it and gotten it down.
Yep.
Like my mouth is very
there's
yummy.
almost a like I took a tiny sip of this walking out. There's like almost a savoriness afterwards. And I know that feels weird to say that because I'm talking about vanilla and I'm talking about caramel, and you're mentioning sweetness, but like there's like a sweetness that a savoriness that like comes from I think that oak.
Okay.
Sitting in that oak for an extra period of time,
Yeah. I would be curious if I would notice side by side.
Yeah.
I probably don't have a sophisticated enough palate.
I
wonder if you would.
Oh, I would if you now here's the thing.
I'm sorry, people.
I would say I haven't tried Junebug. June, come here, girl. I haven't tried old fashions made with them side by side.
Right.
But I've tried the syrup.
Right.
And I love you, Wilbur. He just gave me that I love you sign. But 100%, I could
you would know
100%. You want to try it?
No, I don't want to make two more.
Fine.
And I don't
no,
wanna
I
waste
thought you were.
any.
I thought you were gonna pour just like little samples of.
No,
syrup.
I would be curious if next month when you are partaking of alcohol again.
Yes.
I would love to make two old fashions.
Can I have another sip of this? Let me try
you
this
can.
one more time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think for sure that tastes different to me. I've had. I mean, how many Eli Mason old fashions have we had?
We've had a lot.
A lot.
I didn't really care for old fashions until
till Eli
we
Mason.
had
That was one of the things that piqued my interest.
Somehow I just
it's
like, oh, I can like whiskey.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
bourbon.
You can
either depends on what you put in.
Bourbon
it, right?
is whiskey,
but not all whiskey is bourbon.
Correct.
But what we normally would put in it,
we use Eagle Rare 10-year. That's our house bourbon.
Bourbon, okay.
I use a bourbon to make that. You know.
Yeah.
But
so I can
hang
with the bourbon drinks now.
Yeah.
Thanks to these.
Yes, that was one of the things. Like, we didn't start Eli Mason.
No.
But we became friends with the guy who did start it, and then he wanted to go back to a normal 9-to-5 job, kind of get off the small business entrepreneur train. I do like a challenge.
Hey, this was an idea you brought to me.
I did.
You know,
you kind of liked it.
Great ideas.
You kind of liked this idea from the very beginning. You were like, I see that. I understand. It makes sense.
It did make sense to me for you.
Right.
And it wasn't a hugely risky thing.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, I think we could do that.
Yeah.
And then you, because of your brilliant ideas, you had it paid for, bringing in some folks to go in with us on it.
Sure.
And so it wasn't like a financial burden, and like it just became something fun for you to start going, I'm going to try to grow this.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of ebbed and flowed. And so I think it's.
But one of those things that really interested me was this was the first time that I made a bourbon drink and you liked it. Mm-hmm. I remember that specifically. Like when I bought, that's before we even talked about buying the brand. Like I bought a bottle at Red Dog and brought it home to try it because it was made in Nashville. I'm a sucker for that.
Yeah.
I love old fashions. You had taught me to look at ingredients. I looked at it was all natural. So it was real cane. There was no high fructose corn. So there was nothing like that, artificial.
Yeah.
No coloring. And I was like, oh, I'm going to try this. Like I looked at the label. Oh, made in Nashville, old fashions. I love the look of this bottle. The brand. I'm a sucker for good packaging and branding. I was like, I'm totally going to try this. I came home, made a drink. I liked it. But more importantly to me, you liked it. And I was like, well, there's something there.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So. It's
that
delicious.
Yeah,
it's
and
delicious.
I think it definitely tastes different to me than all the traditional.
Yeah.
But it's funny to me. It tastes less sweet.
It's the after flavor, like in my mouth, is so delicious.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah, I get it.
You know.
So
well
anyway.
done. Okay, so here was the last question that I thought, since we're on this topic,
I'm gonna have one more little sip.
Just one more.
I'm taking tiny little sips. I'm just curious.
So new packaging.
Yes.
You worked on some new packaging.
Yep.
Trying to create
it's just
an
a
Eli
new,
Mason image.
A new label, right?
And so is the new label's obviously on this because an old label wouldn't be on it.
Correct.
And so I guess new labels will kind of roll out
as
inventory moves through.
Correct. As we run out of labels on our existing mixers and syrups, we will start using this new label design, which is not
drastically different,
no.
but it's got the figure of the who we're trying to create as a.
I've always been curious about who Eli Mason was, and so this time around I was like, if we're coming out with a new product, it's a good opportunity to kind of how do we just start to tell that story a little bit?
Yeah, and it's a story we're kind of making up.
Yeah. Because he didn't exist,
right?
To our knowledge, he didn't exist.
Yeah. It was just a name chosen.
But I'm gonna even stop saying that. I'm gonna say, legend has it.
Yeah.
Legend has it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. But yeah, if you buy this bottle, you'll see a little drawing, a little, illustration of a side
Old
profile,
Eli.
old Eli,
Yeah.
that our friend Caleb Ferris was kind enough to draw. He's very, very talented.
Yeah, yes.
So yeah, I think it's neat. I'm
Okay.
excited about it.
Yeah. Well,
And
that's very exciting.
I predict that in 48 hours it'll all be gone.
Do you now?
I really do. Yeah.
Really?
Well, I mean, when we launched Cherries,
Okay. Law, do you remember?
oh my gosh, such a nightmare.
Oh, my word.
One of the most stressful times in my life in business.
Yeah. Yeah. We were on vacation.
Well, we were in
Right.
Memphis visiting cousins
Okay.
for Will's
Yeah.
birthday,
Yeah.
and
those cherries were lost.
they were lost for more than 30
Weeks.
days.
Yeah.
30 days they were
Yes.
gone. They disappeared.
Yes. And we
And-
had a release date,
Yeah.
and we couldn't find the cherries.
Oh my goodness. I mean, it was supposed to be like a 4-day transit time.
Mm-hmm.
And I had built in like, okay, well, let's build in an extra 4 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Like we had a good buffer. It wasn't like we weren't prepared or
Yeah.
we did all the good things.
Yeah.
And 4 days after they shipped, nobody could find them.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like a
What do you
week
mean?
later.
Right. What do you
How do
mean
you-
you can't
how do you
find 'em?
lose?
Yeah. How do you lose a couple pallets worth?
I think that first run was like maybe 3 pallets
Yeah.
of cherries.
Yeah.
And wow. Yeah, super stressful.
Yeah.
And I mean, we sold an absolute ton of them the day they went on sale.
Wow.
And we
had pre-sold some.
Oh yeah,
Too right.
And our shipping partner was saying, well, they're let's say I can't remember the exact specifics. I think we put them on sale on Tuesday,
Mm-hmm.
and they were like, hey, they're going to be here Friday. So I'm going, okay, good. If we can start shipping them
Right.
Friday, awesome. People start getting them,
Yeah.
less than a week after they ordered them,
Yeah.
and then Friday comes, it's like they're not here.
Yeah.
We don't know where they are.
Yeah.
The freight company doesn't know where they are.
Right.
They were last in. I mean, it was crazy. It was crazy.
Yeah. Mama
But-
had the prayer team covering
yeah.
the cherries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And ultimately,
We
we found them.
Yeah.
They got found.
They were close.
They were like
A couple miles down the
yes.
road from where they should have been.
Yes. The God bless them. I love them. We still work with them. But our co-packer on the cherries put the wrong address
Okay.
on the shipment.
Yeah. Was it just like the wrong number? Like numbers got sort of
It was the
flipped?
wrong number on the same street.
Yeah.
It was like a 1/10 of a mile down the road in a different warehouse.
And nobody
And nobody knew
nobody
it.
knew
We didn't know
there.
it.
These aren't ours.
No.
Whatever that
It went
warehouse
into a big
was.
warehouse. Somebody received them. They tucked them away somewhere, and they sat there.
Yeah.
And
Crazy.
ultimately, we found them and got them in people's hands. And
Yeah.
boy,
Well, we prayed about that.
oh yeah, but
And-
it was every day. Just dozens of emails every day. People just, where are they? Where's my order? Where's my order? And I was
Yeah.
like, we're trying to find them. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, well, this has been fun.
Yeah. This has been
I'm glad
fun.
you like it.
Yeah. We've
And,
covered a lot.
We did cover a lot. What should we call this episode?
Therapy and old fashions on the
I like
porch.
that. Therapy and old
Sunday therapy
fashions.
and
Yep,
old-
Sunday therapy. And
fashions.
well, it won't be Sunday. It'll be Monday when it comes out. So we'll
Right.
just call it, front porch therapy and old fashions.
Was it therapy? Maybe.
It was a little bit, I think.
We did some confession.
Yeah, I think a little bit,
and,
for
yeah,
sure. Yeah.
A little bit vulnerable, So
All right. Well, I
Okay.
appreciate you being here.
you're welcome.
Yes, and I love you.
Love you.
All right. Bye-bye.